Hi, I'm Kate Brandt, Google's Sustainability Officer. Thank you all so much for coming to this virtual summit. Today, I want to talk about how Google is approaching our third decade of climate action. We realize that while we can drive change through our own actions, it's only through working collaboratively with our partners that we can meet the needs of our users and that we can ultimately tackle the challenges of climate change. Now, we always start with what can we do in our own business and operations to be more sustainable? This is, of course, our responsibility, but it's also really the best way that we've found to innovate, to iterate, and to share best practices with others. Now, deleting emissions from our own operations is vital, but our impact is far greater when we enable others to do the same. So we are committed to sharing our technology, our methods, and our funding to help organizations everywhere transition to a resilient, carbon-free system. And Google helps people around the world to take action to live more sustainably every day. People search for how to live a more sustainable lifestyle more than ever in 2020. And some of our products are already helping people to take steps to do just that. Whether it's pulling up your Google Maps to find a sustainable transit route like walking or biking or public transit, or our Nest learning thermostat, which has helped our customers save billions of kilowatts of energy over the years. Now, I like to say that sustainability has essentially been a part of Google's DNA since our founding back in 1998. And the first major milestone for us in our first decade of climate action was that in 2007, we became the first major company to commit to carbon neutrality. And we have met that commitment every year since. Then in 2017, we became the first major company to match 100% of our annual electricity use with renewable energy. And we've done this for 3 consecutive years. And of course, in line with our history of setting moonshot goals, something we're known for at Google, our latest 24/7 carbon-free energy by 2030 goal is truly that. This is our best moonshot yet. We're going far beyond offsetting our carbon or matching our electricity consumption with renewables. We are working to decarbonize electricity supply. So not net zero, but true zero. And this, for us, is truly the next and final step in decarbonizing electricity globally. And I do just want to pause and take a moment to emphasize why I think this is so exciting. Sourcing round-the-clock clean energy is a far more ambitious and challenging objective than any traditional approaches to energy sourcing. Every Google data center and campus, like any other facility, it's connected to a regional grid. And that grid is going to have a power mix that's going to include some component of carbon-free energy like wind or solar, as well as a portion that's carbon-based, coal, gas, or oil. And in 2017, as I mentioned, we achieved 100% renewable energy by purchasing enough renewable energy to match our worldwide electricity every year. But that doesn't get us all the way there because in certain places at certain times, there is going to be carbon-based electricity on a grid because the wind isn't blowing or the sun isn't shining. So 100% RE is really just a signpost on this journey to a fully carbon-free grid. And that's our end goal. Now, last year, we also took on some other big commitments. We neutralized our legacy carbon footprint, dating all the way back to our founding in 1998. So this made us the first company to be carbon neutral for our entire history. Also, last August, we issued $5.75 billion in sustainability bonds. This is the largest corporate issuance at the time. And because we know that carbon-free energy is not available in many parts of the world, and that is particularly the case in a lot of the places where our manufacturing takes place, we want to help develop wind and solar and other clean energy generation to drive towards carbon-free. And so we're building on some of our previous investments to bring a total of 5 gigawatts online over the next 10 years. That is more clean energy than the solar capacity available in the state of Arizona today. Now, as I mentioned, of course, making sure we operate sustainability is key, but we are also using our technology to help others. So, for example, half of the Earth's population live in cities. And in fact, 70% of global emissions originate from cities. So we wanted to figure out, how do we put our technology in service of enabling cities to decarbonize? And we built the Environmental Insights Explorer to do just that, to help cities understand their emissions and their solar potential. And we're making this data available to 3,000 cities so they can measure, track, and plan. And our ultimate goal is to partner with cities to reduce a gigaton of carbon emissions annually by 2030. Now, when we think about the role of technology in tackling climate change, machine learning is an incredible tool. At Google, we have experience with this, what we would call dog food. We tried this out on ourselves. We used a machine learning algorithm to optimize the energy used to cool our data centers. And through ingesting information about power, temperature, and pump speeds, we were able to drive a 30% reduction in electricity used for cooling. And this was already in a very efficient system. So now we want to make this available far beyond Google. So our cloud team and DeepMind have developed what we call an industrial adaptive controls platform to deliver machine learning enabled energy savings on a global scale. And so what this is essentially doing is enabling the autonomous control of HVAC systems, of heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. And this can be done in commercial buildings, in other data centers, and industrial facilities. And because we know that a huge opportunity is decarbonizing our building stock, we've partnered up with the companies that manage many of the buildings around the world, 60% of the global large commercial building footprint. And each of these enterprises manages tens to hundreds of thousands of commercial buildings. So by helping them with AI-powered HVAC system optimization, we can improve their energy efficiency and their carbon impact. Now, of course, efficiency and clean energy are a key piece of the puzzle on climate change, but we also know that we need to remove carbon from the atmosphere. And I like to say the most mature technology for doing this is trees. Nature is very good at removing carbon from the atmosphere. But what's really critical with trees is that we have to know where and when to plant them, which species are best for a certain environment, and then trees can thrive and grow and ultimately be great sequesters of carbon. So we've started experimenting with our own science-based reforestation in California, where I'm joining you from today, in Texas, in Spain, and in Australia. And we're also partnering with the great team at Crowther Lab to develop a global data platform called Restore. The goal of Restore is to increase the impact of reforestation projects around the world, enabling everyone to come on this journey. Now, there are countless other tools that I just want to quickly mention that we have built that are enabling our partners to take action. We have Project Sunroof, which enables anyone, a homeowner or a city, to assess the solar potential of their rooftop. There's Global Fishing Watch, which is doing real-time monitoring of fishing activity and enabling the creation of marine protected areas around the world. There's Global Forest Watch, which uses data and tools to assist in forest protection. The Global Surface Water Explorer helps users get the most detailed view of fresh water supply on Earth over time to do better water policy and management planning. And Project AirView is helping cities and communities understand their air quality at a hyperlocal street-by-street scale. Our products, like Google Maps, Search, and YouTube, each have over 1 billion monthly active users. So this gives us a really unique opportunity to support everyone to live in a more sustainable way. And today, millions of people are already doing this, from creating and viewing how-to videos on YouTube, about how to repair and reuse instead of throwing things away. I just used one of these videos the other day to fix something of my daughter's. And equally, people are using Google Maps to get around with bike share and on public transit. And one of the other great examples of enabling people to live more sustainably is our Nest Learning thermostat. We talked a moment ago about how commercial buildings are a major source of carbon emissions. Well, so are our homes. So giving people tools to reduce energy in their homes is key. And that's exactly what the Nest Learning thermostat is doing, also through the power of AI. It's enabling much smarter controls of residential heating and cooling. And through the years, Nest has helped our customers cumulatively save more than 47 billion kilowatts of energy. That's enough to power all of San Francisco's electricity consumption for over 8 years. Today, it is truly more important than ever to go beyond business as usual. We have until 2030 to chart a sustainable course for our planet or face the worst consequences of climate change. Meeting this challenge will require rapid decarbonization across our society in the next 10 years. This means individuals, businesses, cities, and nations. And at Google, we have always viewed a challenge as an opportunity to be helpful and to make things better for everyone. And climate change is no different. For our users, we want to meet their growing desire for more sustainable products and information about how to live more sustainably every day. For our partners in cities, in local governments, and nonprofits, we want to meet the growing appetite for data that can inform climate action plans. And at Google, we have laid out a moonshot goal for ourselves to achieve 24/7 carbon-free energy by 2030. So if you're interested in learning more, you can read about our progress, explore many of the tools I've shared today, and review our reports on sustainability.google. Thank you so much.